Okay, so sleep is really important for our clients. We're really looking for, do you get 8 hours of sleep or not? We ask all of our clients, how are you sleeping? And then we try to kind of delve a little bit deeper into that. The reason is because sleep is a time for us to be restoring our physical function and mental function. And if we're not really getting enough, then usually we're not going to be healing optimally, or sometimes it can be a factor in like chronic pain and things like that. In addition to sleep hygiene, one of the things that we can do to help problem solve sleep is called HRV monitoring. So HRV means heart rate variability, and it's actually a really neat measure that we can take objectively to look at the balance between your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, which means kind of like your fight or flight system versus your rest and recovery system. These days, a lot of people are kind of functioning very much towards that fight or flight or like high stress lifestyle. And oftentimes these kind of things creep up on us gradually as we add different elements into our lives and into our routines. So sometimes we're going to need to start kind of breaking that down, or have some way of objectively analyzing, is this me? Am I really over here? If you know that you're not sleeping 8 hours a day, we have to start kind of thinking, why is that happening, right? So like sleep hygiene is one thing that gives you a lot of tips and stuff about how you might be able to like fall asleep or stay asleep. And as you're problem solving through those things, you may find some of them help you and some of them don't. HRV monitoring will give you an ability to kind of analyze whether or not you're seeing a change, if you want to manipulate one of those variables, and see if it's helping you or not, right? So if you're going to kind of pursue taking caffeine out of your life, for example, are we seeing a change in your heart rate variability? Are we seeing a change in the specific amount of time that you are managing to sleep? So there are a couple of different tools. One of the tools for heart rate variability monitoring is called the Oura Ring. This is something that you can wear all day and all night. And each morning you can open up an app and it kind of takes your data from the nighttime, updates it into the system, and you can look at your information and see like how long did you sleep, what sleep stages were you in, and what was your heart rate variability. And so with that information, you get an idea about the quality and quantity of your sleep, as well as kind of like your readiness for the day, and a sense of, like with heart rate variability, it's that sort of measure of the balance between your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. So as you start to have an idea of what your normal heart rate variability numbers are like, you will see that some days you have a low number, some days you'll have a higher number, which is good. So more variability is good, indicating that you're a little bit more balanced, or you're more probably towards that parasympathetic side. Another way of doing heart rate variability monitoring is using a strap, or they're like finger or thumb sensors that you can use in the morning. And so to do a daily reading, which you just use for about 5 minutes each day, first thing when you're waking up. And so again, you establish a baseline, and then you kind of get to see how things are changing day to day. And so if you're going to try to problem solve some of the behaviors or some of the things that are going into your life, you can actually see the effects. Within 24 hours, you can see the effects that that's having on you. So that's really what we kind of recommend, and this is something that we can actually coach clients through a little bit if you're interested in working with those things. But they can actually be quite simple to work with and help you to, on one hand, validate that feeling that you have that maybe stress is an impact or having an impact on your sleep, or is it or isn't it kind of thing, because usually most people, by the time that they're in this state, they're so used to just like coping with it and pushing through that we have some habits of not really acknowledging what it is in our life that's causing these kind of changes. And gradually over time, sleep has been diminishing until the point that we're just getting that 5 or 6 hours a day. Now it's starting to potentially have an effect on your ability to recover or your ability to perform as an athlete, or perhaps it's having, perhaps it's like the sheer amount of stress that's causing tension in your body that's affecting your ability to kind of like breathe and get tall and keep your body loose, right? If we're always kind of stuck in here and we're just like breathing here 20,000 times a day, we can acquire an awful lot of muscular tension so that many of the functions of our body start to be impaired by the ability of just like this region to move, okay? That's gonna affect your ability to have normal range of motion for your shoulder. It's gonna affect your ability to have normal range of motion for your arms and legs. And this can cause chronic pain, or this can limit your performance, okay?